I want it to be over and done with. I do. I'm tired, boss. Tired of being on the road, by myself, lonely as a sparrow in the rain. I'm tired of never having a buddy with me to tell me when it's going to go from and why. Mostly I'm tired of people being ugly to each other. I'm tired of all the pain I feel in the world. Every day, there's too much of it. I feel like it's pieces of glass inside my head.
3, 2, 1, 0.
You're listening to the Knives Templars.
Get ready, y'all. We about to Bobby Boucher you. Bam!
I got a piece off of the wagon that Sam Houston used to take JFK to the moon.
Pinto sauce. I like that. Pinto sauce.
Pinto sauce. You're tuned in to the Knives Templars podcast, featuring Odisir Special Sauce Pinto.
I was a mean kid.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Eric T.R.E. Rivers.
Holy crap, I built something.
Don the Train Watson.
I can pay off all my credit cards and beef jerky credit line at Bucky.
Joey the Riot Terrier.
Cochon de lait will make you smack your lips and anyone getting too close to your plate.
Mark the Salad.
There would be a lot of places I would launch myself to.
Chip Shegman Carla. We've had a raccoon come through the screen door down in the family room. And presenting the individual creative stylings of Jason Fry. And finally, the KTP trio of dancers, Josh Ferran, David Moore, and Chris Jones. And now, broadcasting across planet Earth, it's the Knives Templars, coming to you live from Forecaust Studios located in Hartselle, Alabama. This is the Knives Templars podcast. We are on air, on demand, and heard worldwide in all of your favorite apps and at theknivestemplars.com. What movie did that come from, guys?
Green Mile.
There you go. I figured I'm too tired to do a good impression. I practiced that the last 10 minutes coming home. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired of people being ugly to each other. I drove for 9 hours today. I saw ugliness. I saw glass shattered all over the road. It's in my mind. I'm tired of being in the car by myself with no one and something about a sparrow. It was a long day. It wasn't the Green Mile. It was the 484-mile super race from Dobson, North Carolina to Hartselle, Alabama to get here. It was planes, trains, and automobiles. All my buddies took off on a plane, and I jumped in a car. And planes, trains. Oh, and right before I got to the house, 3 miles from the house, I got stopped by a train. So it was 2 movies. It was 2 movies. The only thing missing was a polka band. A polka band, I say. Welcome to the Knives Templars. It's a long day, and I really did just slide in here off the road. But we've got an exciting show tonight. I will tell you something going on special in the world. We've got Blade Show Texas underway, and we had some of our buddies just jump ship and leave the podcast to go sell knives. Go figure.
Yep.
And promote their brands. I know.
Great.
Yeah, I tell you. But our tried and true heroes stuck in here tonight with us, and you've got me, Chillicothe Smidweather, otherwise known as Chip Carlisle. You got Don the Train Watson coming in from Florida. Good evening, Don. Odisir, Special Sauce, the Pinto. What are you drinking tonight? What are you drinking tonight?
Who, me?
Yeah, Buzzball. Did you go get one
of
of them fish?
the usual. Today I'm chilling, just a little Corona.
A Corona?
All right.
Somebody showed you like a scuba tank sized bottle of
Buzzballs. I gotta go get me one of those.
I figured you'd be like wearing that on your head like a space helmet. We got Josh of all trades, Ferran.
What's up, guys?
His mic hasn't shipped yet. That's his. Where's your mic, Josh?
I don't know. Amazon's got it, I think.
What kind of mic did you get? Hey, Mike. You know what day it is?
Hey.
It's Friday.
Wednesday. Oh,
Yeah,
dang it!
it's
I knew I was
Friday.
wrong.
It's Friday, and so your mic sounds good tonight. We're looking forward to your new mic. And Mark VMAX, are you even? What are you drinking tonight, VMAX? I have to ask.
I'm drinking some cacao.
Excellent.
Watch out.
I'm going the Don the Train method tonight.
There you go.
I had a beer pulled out, but I was like, that sounds good. I think I'm going to go with some double dark chocolate cacao.
Is it hot or is it cold?
Cacao
thing.
And there's Don's Cow. And hey, do me a favor. Turn the head to the side there. Turn your head to the side. VMAX has got his ears lowered.
Ooh, look at
Oh,
that.
I do.
You look like you're from Alabama, son, about 1943. You're fitting in just fine. All you need is a pair of overalls and a horse plow in front of you.
I started running. It looked like Forrest Gump.
Well, I didn't want to say that.
Probably was in the minute.
I'm just glad you shaved your beard off because I feel much better about myself now. Because you had a handsome beard. You're a beard man and you just didn't know it. So you gonna bring it back?
I think at some point I am.
Good deal. Hey, so we mentioned some guys. We got Blade Show Texas, and I had hoped to be there, and I did have to go to North Carolina, and of course I've driven back all day to be with my group of friends who I love to get with every other Friday night and in between as we chat and talk. But we have some exciting news from the road. Jason Fry has sold a knife or two. I chatted with him a little earlier today through text messages. Got a lot of people looking. It says Blade Show is packed. So Jason Fry is into selling knives. Did y'all see the picture of Eric Rivers' table?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It was looking good.
Yeah,
that boy,
great.
It's good.
That boy looks like a knife.
Yeah, the Warcraft knife right in front.
Yeah,
he
man.
did.
Yeah,
he's been producing.
I know. He looks like
get them knives out,
I don't know why they didn't make him buy two tables with all those knives.
Right.
That was something. They're beautiful knives too. They're beautiful. And he had one of our buddies from the past, Mr. Rich, is at the table with him. I saw Rich's picture and he looked good. And we've got Chris Jones is out there selling knives. I haven't heard from Chris, but if I'll try and get this out in the morning. If somebody hears it, head to Chris Jones' table. He's made a beautiful knife, a Jimi Hendrix inspired knife. Glow in the dark, and it's got the whole Jimi Hendrix theme going on with it. It's a beautiful knife. So you guys gotta check that out. So Blade Show, be there, be square. And I was actually talking up with some of my buddies who they're knife enthusiasts, but not knife makers. And I've got them all excited about Blade Show Atlanta. So guys, we're only a few months away from that. So I hope you guys are making your plans and
got my hotel, got my leave.
Oh, you got your leave to go to in a hotel.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
In a hotel.
Excellent.
Yeah.
How many beds do y'all have? Did you get?
I don't know. So I'm assuming one. I'm going to be there with my wife, but maybe it has two beds. I don't know.
No, we were hoping you got like either the two queens or the two king suite because Odysseus and I, we'll put a board between us, but we were wanting to, just kind of find a place to lay our heads. I mean, why pay for a room if somebody else has got one with two beds and
I ain't sleeping next to you. Don't take it personal. It's just not my thing.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. Didn't you see that? And he talked about the two pillows.
Yeah, nuts to butts. Odysseus,
did you say that?
I don't know.
I like it, but not that much.
Odysseus, I would just cozy right up next to you, and
no.
I can't say that I would, but I have been.
Well, you used to work at a special bar, so
Well, no, I quit that night. But I have been known to sleep with other men in the forest and in tents in the forest and in hammocks next to them. But I would say under the same sheets with the Odysseus is just not going to happen in this lifetime.
I'd say so.
There you go.
Yeah,
well, at least we both, at least we both professed our masculinity and our straightness tonight. So we can. I don't know about the other three guys on this podcast, but we can trust each other.
Yeah, they look kind of funny to me.
They do, especially that other guy from Alabama. Doesn't he look like he was from Deliverance?
Yeah.
It does, don't it?
He takes that hat off and gives you that smile to the side. I swear he's don't meet me on the side of a hill. So hey, so we don't have a lot on the menu tonight, so we're gonna have a freewheeling show and talk about what we've been doing. We had a great show lined up, and I'll let the cat out of the bag. We were going to have Mr. Ryan Broadbeck with us, and we were going to talk about Broadbeck grinders tonight. But something came up, and he's doing actually teaching a knife class tonight that he had needed to commit to after he accepted this. So we've got him lined up to come back on here in a couple weeks. So we're looking forward to that. Also, to let you guys know, we got Brian House will be coming on here with Houseworks, and our buddies from Ameribraid are looking for an opportunity to come on. And I'm excited about that, looking at these visionary, these guys that are shaping our industry and getting them on here in the near future. With that being said, I do want to talk about one of our makers, or one of our sponsors, who is another visionary, and that is Ucell over at TR Maker. And you can find them at tr-maker.com. Since 1980, TR Maker has offered high-quality, fast service from Istanbul, Turkey, the heart of Turkey. He ships to every country in the world, and you need to check out their line of knife-making tools to make your job easier and more precise. You want to be a better knife maker? Get better tools. You don't do without their products once you discover them. So much so, I'm excited to tell you that I ordered something, and I paid for it. He's a sponsor, but I'm not one of these guys that, surprise me with something, but I'm not going to go asking for something. So I paid for it. I'm going to do a review on it. But here's the part I want to tell you that's actually quite exciting. I ordered the new blade vise from TR Maker. Paid the sale price for it. It's on sale right now. So go out to tr-maker.com and check out that blade vise. It is on sale. And it was picked up on Wednesday, February 21st in Istanbul, East Turkey. On the next day, February 22nd, it was in Germany and had already gone through customs. The next day, on Friday, it was in Cincinnati, and by Friday afternoon, it was in Nashville, Tennessee, to be delivered to my house either tonight or in the morning. Guys, can you believe that? How fast that shipping is?
Shipping right there.
Good.
I mean, that's coming practically
That's great.
almost from the other side of the world. 40% around the planet. It's going to be here in 3 or 4 days. I was like, have you guys ever shipped a knife overseas?
No.
Yeah.
25 days to get it there. And that's going through U.S. Postal Service or UPS. DHL, which he uses, is quite a bit more expensive, but I tell you what, it's wonderful service and it's worth paying for. But I have that, and I also purchased an additional file guide, and I got one in blue, and it's because I love that thing to death, the one I've got, and I'm not nice to it. And you can't be nice to them, can you?
Yes, you can. But I thought you were going to say, I got one in blue because I'm a boy.
I'm a man. But I got one in blue. And the reason being is because I did like the other color, and he had those available. Blacks would have been another couple weeks out, and I said, hey, I would like a blue one. So he's shipping me a blue one. It'll be here with this package also, and I'm going to save it for some product shots. And down the road, when I need to, I can always go in and start using it whenever, but there's no sense in running two at the same time unless there was a need on a blade that you had to have two or it made it easier. I will tell you this, he uses that 3M double-sided adhesive tape, and I do like the idea. I don't know why you'd have to, but if you ever had to change out the carbide and you can get that tape to separate, because I've used it to put glass platens on before, if you can get it to actually let loose, you can actually replace those carbide plates if you ever had to. But I've been using his on many, many knives now, and I tell you what, with the exception of just some blemish from rubs, they're as flat as they've ever been. How are yours holding up? You got that really cool one from Brazil, Otis here.
Oh, that one is only used to set my tank. That's it.
Yeah.
And I have two more that are carbide,
Right.
and those I will take it to the belt when I need to.
Yeah.
But the one I got from Brazil, that thing is still almost pristine, you know.
How often do you have to dress your carbide plates?
No, never done.
I was going to say I haven't had to do it. I actually saw. I was watching a video. I forget who it was. They were forging out a knife, and then they had their carbide file guides out, and they actually went to dress them on a belt for some reason, and I don't know why. But it was.
I tried that on a belt. It didn't quite work. I mean, that thing is hard.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is hard. I mean, if you have a belt that is hard enough to go through carbide, let me know, because that thing should last a long time.
Well, Josh is a Josh of all trades, so let's see if he's truly a Josh of all trades. Josh, how do you
would you ride carbide?
How would you ride carbide without? You're going to say diamond, right?
Yeah, it would be about the only one thing you could use. Do it like on a diamond sharpener. You could lap it, kind of like you do with the machinist deal, where you do the figure eights, and that'll get it nice and flat.
What if you went to Phoenix Abrasives and got a carbide 120 grit belt, a diamond belt?
Ooh, that would be awesome.
If they only made such a thing.
I was going to ask you, do they make those?
I've never heard of one.
They would probably be expensive, but they would probably last a very, very, very long time if they did. I guess you could take diamond dust and impregnate them into those belts, but I would say probably the material that adheres them to the belt would probably wear out before the I guess
It'd be like a fresh 36. As soon as you hit like a corner, it just sprays you with diamond.
Yeah, exactly. You go in the house glittering like diamonds, glittering like diamonds. So what have you guys been up to? Let's take it around the table. Josh, you've been quiet so far.
I've been wrapping up a couple of orders. I finished a skinning knife that has been delayed since starting my new job, and I was delivering it yesterday, and about 9:30 the night before, I was sharpening it and just slipped on my belt and ruined it. So from 9:30 to 2 a.m. the knife, and
ruined it on not your belt. I'm sorry, I was thinking you were talking about your belt and your pants. You're talking about a grinding belt. I wasn't trying to be funny. That was actually a senior moment.
Grinder.
Yeah, it's
all good. We'll let it slide this time.
No, it was a senior moment. I apologize.
And it slipped. Oh, you're good. And it slipped, and whenever it did, it just took a little bit up past where my grind stopped, and so I wound up having to reprofile the blade after I had already like sandblasted it, blued it, and all of that, and so went back and had to reprofile it and redo my bevels with the handle on and all that stuff, which was pretty nerve-wracking. But I got done about 2 a.m. and then I had to go up and had meeting first thing in the morning, and then I was meeting my parents because my sister was in town from California, and so we went up there, and on the way back I dropped the knife off, and they text me this morning. They're super happy with it and all that good stuff, which is great. But now I'm working on another knife that has been waiting. I'm doing the sheath on it right now, and this one is pretty cool. It's actually a knife that he had commissioned for his dad, and the antler that he sent me is from a deer that his dad shot when he was a kid. And so I've never done an antler handled knife before, and it was probably the most stressful knife I've done to date. And so all that's left on this is sharpening it. Hopefully I don't mess it up. And
did you like dye the antler?
Yeah,
like,
so I used
like after you sanded it and blended it with the leather
so I
dye?
shaped the bolster and the handle together, and I've got the spacer in there is actually a piece of a guitar pick guard material, so it's black, white, black, and I just shape them together, and then Once I'm done, everything's all polished up. I'll hit it with a little bit of leather dye, and it gives it that nice kind of like brown.
Yeah, it's a real
look,
rich
which
color.
is-
I like it.
yeah,
Yep.
it turned out a lot
Nice. I
better.
like
I'd
that,
heard
man.
about using it and never tried it before because I've never done an antler handle, but it turned out really good, and I'm super happy with that. So that's what I've been doing.
You got me thinking Chris Jones should have taken pick guard material, Telecaster material or something, pick guard.
Oh,
and,
yeah, that would have been
and
good.
put that on the inside of his Jimi Hendrix knife as far as space or liners go. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark, what have you been doing, my friend?
Well, last weekend was, even if it was, since it was past Fat Tuesday, there is a couple of lingering parades that go on in the area on the Saturday afterwards. And so we clean up after the parade on Saturday, and then we have to go out all day Sunday. And so really tomorrow will be my first day off probably in like a month. And so I am, I'm pretty ready to have a day off. But besides for that, there's a couple days that I got off work at 5, which was awesome, and I've been working on that Serbian cleaver. I've been trying out that new profile.
I like that.
And so like again, really, I just have it. I have it profiled out, and then just started initial bevel on it.
Yeah.
And then so I got to get some holes in that. I'm going to do some file work on the handle spine, and so got to get that done. Have 2 hidden tang knives that are ground out and waiting for that heat treat oven to come in.
Right.
So and then I'm trying to get that the electrician said they do it, and so now I'm just scheduling to get out. So probably I don't know, a couple more weeks, and I'm hoping to have that oven in and hooked up. So that'll be pretty good for me.
What kind of oil? Are you going to get you some Parks?
I've been using pinto sauce.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Right. Well, you know what they say.
But I might get Parks. I mean, I don't know.
Oh no, if you're using
pinto sauce, been working. It's been working good.
If you're using pinto sauce and it's working, that's great. I didn't realize you were doing that. Look at the smile on Pinto's face. He's like, my precious, my precious.
I was a mean kid.
You know what they say about ugly babies? They turn into beautiful adults. I guess mean kids turn into sweetheart adults.
Hey, there you go.
There you go. Hey, did y'all see that picture I just sent you?
Oh no!
I was at a gas station today, and there was a guy that got out of a car and he had this shirt on that said Big Deborah. And I looked at it, and then it hit me. It was like, that's little Debbie.
Little Debbie. She grew up.
Grown up into Big Deborah. I'm still getting
she ate too many
snack cakes, I guess. So, you guys just look up Big Deborah on Google, and you might get a giggle, too. When I was a kid, my cousin Steve and my dad was a Kmart store manager, and they were building a new store, and he was helping it. And he said, hey, guys, you want to earn some extra money? And, being kids is, yeah. And we went to the store and they had us painting bollards, and we were painting bollards brown. I don't know why brown, but instead of yellow. And we were painting them brown around the back of the building. And the little Debbie guy pulled up in his truck and was going into the building because they're starting to stock this new store for the grand opening and everything. And my cousin Steve decides to take the paintbrush and put a Adolf Hitler and then a little goatee on her chin. And then he didn't like that. So he went with full sweeping mustache on little Debbie. And then she identified as a man. And then he went around the other side of the truck and put a full beard on that side, little Debbie. And the guy came back, I guess the next day or whatever, because we got questioned about it. And we were there painting again, but we ended up we lost all of our money having to pay to clean that truck, so to speak. So
it was worth it, I guess.
Bunch of hooligans.
I don't know. I've little Debbie makes me sick to my stomach today because it wasn't my fault.
Chip, you were a mean kid.
I was a mean kid too.
There you go.
I was tagging things before it was cool to tag things. So
right. Hey, as I was finishing, I'd like to ask Otis here a question.
Yes, you're not finished. We got an hour and 35 minutes left.
Yeah. So, I'm watching the more I watch you do your hidden tags, right, and then you're getting your guard fit up, right. I know how you, I can get the top and the bottom of that fit up super flat and super parallel, and so it's almost like glass. But when you do, you take the sides in too, right, on your tang.
Yes, about just under a mil.
I was gonna say that because I sat through that class this week, Otisir.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Otisir gave me my own private lesson.
Oh, okay.
And so my question is when I try to get, since it's such a small, about like a mil, right, that you come in off that side, how do you get them how do you get into that crease of that? Because on the front and the back, it doesn't matter. They can slope, right? Because you can just kind of smooth the guard in, and then it fits in there. How do you get like so in there so there's like
you're talking about
on the sides
sitting at a 90 degree like that?
Yeah.
Right, so right here on
like,
this
because
corner,
when you're filing in on the when you're filing in on the side of the tang, right, and you're going in that mill, right, if it's not like almost perfectly at a 90 degree angle and you push that guard in, right, it's not going to sit flat.
You're not ever going to get to 90 degrees hand filing.
It is not going to be perfect right there. The remedy for it is to
chip nose.
Chip. Go ahead.
My master, Otisir.
Oh, okay.
Future journeyman bladesmith, but my master, because he had a master who taught him, so it's only fair. You just bevel that edge in a little bit on your guard, ever so slightly, and then you keep fitting until it fits flush, because basically you're compensating on the guard for the lack of a perfect 90 degree angle. If it's not milled with a mill, you're not going to be able to get that perfect 90 degrees. So to get that perfectly set, you want to bevel it in just a little bit on each sides without overdoing it. But the reason you're going in a mill around that tang is because it gives you a little bit of space out there, so that you don't want to go out too far, but just far enough that it'll still cover it up and nobody will ever see it. And it's still a perfect fit because you're just compensating for the curvature.
That's right.
Yeah, basically what you're doing at the slot and the guard, you're just going to chamfer just a little bit.
Just the very bit of it. Okay. Well, I'll give that.
There's another way to do it. I have to go get me a new set of files, and because my files are ground flat on the sides, to give that close as possible to a 90 degree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another one, and instead of grinding to a 90 degree on the edges, I'm going to sacrifice one side and put it on a 45 degree. So the cutting edge on the side of that file is going to be as close to zero as possible.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying, right? Instead of having
no, I know exactly. That makes sense now, right? Because I was trying to use a like one of those jeweler's files, the triangle jeweler's file, to just kind of get in there and get as close as possible.
But even those have a little bit of a roundness
at
the edge, on the edge there. So now I think this idea I had about grinding instead of 90 degree, bringing it to say a 45, and bringing it to a sharp edge on one side of the file, that should do the trick. Because I've been having some issues with this also, and most of the time my guard will fit perfectly in there, but every now and then I have to chamfer around the mouth of the tang hole in there, and but yeah, it works either way. I mean, a little finagling will do.
Sure.
And I will tell you, I passed the written test here just now, the verbal test. I have to put that into action tomorrow because I'll be cutting out a guard. And as Otisir has instructed me, don't harden that knife. Go ahead and get that guard fit, put the handle on, and when you get it all set up and it fits exactly like you want, then go in and harden that blade and do your final grind and get it all ready from there. Sand it up, get it ready.
Yep, I had one guy at a meeting. He might listen to the show later, but when I was telling him how I was fitting my guard, he was like, "You just dispelled a myth for me." I said, "Oh, how come?" "Oh, I thought you needed, or I thought you were using a mill to fit your guards in there." I said, "No, man, it's just file guide and a little bit of patience, and a file will get it done. It's
Yeah.
just the
Yeah,
thing is
and I've
like
seen the other.
the one of the things that I always talk about is those big YouTube channels, and they use some high tech tooling to get a
Yep.
certain job done, and those are fine. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have access to a big mill, and I'll be doing crazy things too. But if you're just starting, man, just be patient and
It's
get yourself a
what
good file guide. It'll do the job.
what you're saying, and you some of those big ones. Kyle Royer did a
Oh, I
video.
love his videos, man. I was
Yeah,
just watching one just before we got in.
yeah, and he was doing one where he was fitting up a guard. So I've been looking at this week, getting ready to, and in that particular one, he said, "Hey, I've got this mill, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this dental drill, and all this stuff to make it happen, but not everybody's got this $20,000 worth of equipment. Let me show you how to do it." And it was identical to the way Otis here does it. And two bald guys can't be wrong. You get
Right?
two bald guys equals a positive, right?
Right? Of
And
course.
That's right.
what if two bald guys get in a spitting fight over each other's knives?
Well, we're
Don't
gonna have to see that in person.
don't cross the streams. Don't cross the streams. Hey, little little Ghostbusters there for you guys. So yeah, that's great advice. I hope to put it to test. Mark, where are you growing right now? I've seen you growing. Tell everybody where. I mean, this big knife that you're making right now is a big honking blade. It's you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, and you're going to make one of them big Trotsky like meat cleavers to go out in the forest and cut up sausages and drink cognac.
Well, really, what inspired me to do this is that one of those hidden tag knives I'm making for my dad.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, well, maybe I should make some kind of kitchen knife for my mom. But,
that's cool.
Like I'll tell you, chef's knives. I mean, that's another level, right? And just I'm not there yet to make a chef's knife. But I was thinking, it's like, hey, this might be pretty good. And I think I know a bunch of guys who would like a big steak meat cleaver too, type of thing too. So
is your mother Italian also?
She is.
There you go. Your father's probably a made man, and when he has to do a hit, mom's the one that's having to dispose of the bodies. So you're making.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact. That's how it works.
You've got the, and I just insulted Junior Made Man. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm part of the Norwegian mafia. You better watch it now, just so you know. Hey,
Yo used to go raiding, huh?
No. What I come to find out, this is what my 100% Norwegian Viking friends told me. They said only being 43% Norwegian means that of English descent means that I'm a mutt. I would have been a slave because I am the byproduct of a rape and pillage from some English maiden, and that's where my lineage came down. If you're not 100%, you were a byproduct of a raid in the past. So.
Okay, well, I am sorry to hear that.
Makes you feel good about your lineage.
I know, and my family came through Scotland, and then through Ireland, and on out to then they came to America via Chesapeake, and went into North Carolina from there. And I was telling somebody that this week. We were talking about our families come from, me being up in North Carolina, and that's where my family settled. And I mentioned Ireland, and we were talking about something, about Kentucky whiskey. And they're like, potatoes, the Irish know how to make good liquor. And I said, no, my family was probably just kind of ushered through Ireland and kicked off and sent to America. Probably didn't pick anything up. They were actually the people that shoveled horse dung over at the Carlisle Castle in England. So, no fancy lineage here. But I also told him I have a friend. The guy is from Peru, and real brilliant scientist. And I said I have a friend from Brazil that chases jaguars in the forest when he was a young boy. He thought that was cool. And I said if he comes to Blade Show, I'll introduce you. So you have to go with the story.
Well, if everything goes well, I'll be there. I am looking to change professions here, so we'll see what happens until then. Up to now, I am set to go, but
Yeah.
and I kind of have to go. I really want to go. I have to go. Like I said, I have to
You
present
get your
couple of
blades looked
knives
at. Yeah.
to be judged
Do you
get into the guild. So
do you divulge professions right now, or are you going to hold it close?
No, hold it close until.
So, guys, if you think so, this is the first contest tonight. Let's guess what Odysseer, if he was repurposing his skill set into something else. Let's determine what Odysseer would do.
I gotta move to Mexico for that.
What?
Get my knives to good use in there.
No. You're in the sound. You're in the you're in the soundproof room. We're talking Odysseer. VMAX, what do you think would be a suitable profession for Odysseer?
There's only one.
And
he's going to be a panther tamer.
There you go.
You got it, man. Okay, panther tamer. Don, what do you think?
I mean, that's my guess.
What do you think, Don?
I think you're gonna run wild with the Jaguars.
See, there you go.
Run wild with the Jaguars.
Tarzan boy. It doesn't make a lot of money, but he could be selling ivory on the black market if he's running around the jungle.
They're all wrong.
Environmentally and without hurting the animals, removing their tusk with little tusk saws and selling it so that they're not harmed. It can grow new tusks. There you go.
And put him to sleep.
Nope, none of that.
Can't have any of that now.
He's going to be a longer burger basket salesman.
Oh, one of those fancy baskets.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
See, I was going to go with a marriage and family counselor.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
But but the more I think about it, if you look at Odysseer, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Buzz balls.
Let's see. Come on, give it to me.
Buzz balls.
Hair model.
I think a representative for Hair Club for Men.
Hair
model.
I'm not.
hey, depending on the paycheck, I'll wear a wig, no problem.
There you go.
I'm not just a spokesperson. I'm a client.
There you go.
Well, wherever life takes you, I hope it is where you want to be. And I think that you would do great down here in Alabama. So you come on down. We'd love to have you here.
Oh, yeah. Come on down to Florida, buddy. Come down to the Free State.
Nah, y'all Floridians, got them gators and some snakes.
See, we don't have that. And Josh has both Joshes belong to the Alabama Forge Council and the Alabama Alabama Custom Knife Makers Guild. They also have beautiful shops, and they would love to be your best friend.
Ooh,
just come on down.
Do a bunch of demos
for a nice selling pitch right there.
Yeah, and since they only use those 10-foot tall power hammers and fancy things that they make, you could be the hand Damascus specialist.
Hey, there you go. I'm almost there.
You are. It's looking good. Tell us about what you've been doing, because from that standpoint, because you've been doing some beautiful knives.
Well, I have been trying to, quote unquote, master my hand forging of Damascus. Okay. Last week I put one out.
Just one second.
Oh.
Excuse me. Now go right ahead.
Last week I put another one, low layer Damascus. I tried putting a little pattern in there. It didn't quite come out as I wanted. Beautiful blade nonetheless, extremely unique, exquisite. I was able to put a beautiful finish on that thing. Did some coffee etching and some polishing by hand afterwards. Mm-hmm. Great. Now the one I just finished yesterday, I have a special name for that one in there, and I want a little of your feedback,
Okay.
Right.
Because remember I posted a short clip on our chat group of me forging under the moon, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, there you go. So, and then I made this little beauty right here.
And paint a picture for the listeners.
So
What are we
for the
looking
listeners,
at?
right? Picture a Sanmai, but reversed and forged on its side, right? Basically, that's what you got right there, right? So I had my layers, I stacked them out, and then instead of forging flat like most people do, I flip it on the side, and I forged it like in this direction, right? So where my layers were showing sort of a pinstripe. And I put a really heavy layer of 15 and 20 in the middle of the billet. I have about 4 layers there. And then the the bread part of the sandwich is S6E52 and some leftovers W2 that I had laying around. Too small to make a knife, but big enough to forge welded into a billet. So
that's nice, Pinto. Good job, buddy.
It's so neat.
stuff.
It's so neat you say that. Just going down just another little branch real quick is that I've got all these pieces that were never big enough to make another knife.
Yes.
So I always threw them in a bag with some WD-40 and just kind of kept them in there. And now every one of them is forgeable into a hidden tang knife.
Absolutely.
I'm glad I saved all
weld them together and they come out beautiful.
Forge weld them, or even just take them and stretch them out now as a forger, a real knife maker, and having the ability to.
Yeah, because you're not a real knife maker if you ain't you're hand forging your own Damascus,
That's right. That's what we saw these days.
Hey, have you noticed that as I increase my skills, I keep upping the bar in there of the real knife maker?
I do that. I do that, and we know you're just doing giggles for everybody, but people can't handle the truth, so we have to deliver it to them that way, so that they'll be able to accept it. It is what it is. If you're not hand forging your own Damascus, you're not a real knife maker.
Not a real knife maker no more, right? But here's the thing, right? Now that I've started forging and making, forging Damascus, and I got that monstrous of a 5-pound hammer. I copied that out of Eric's book. I had to get me one of those. And I dragged my anvil outside into the concrete so my floor is not bouncing, which
he said he was afraid he was going to fall through
right?
the
Every time I hit that anvil, the floor starts to bounce because I have a basement under my feet. And I was scared I was going to go through the floor. It's a rickety old building. Anyway, so forging outside with a 5-pound hammer stretches steel like nobody's business, man. I am really, really happy with that hammer and moving the anvil outside and having everything come out, almost exactly as I envisioned. Now, during this last billet, I had a little idea there, and Josh will know what I'm talking about. When you make your billet to forge weld your Damascus, what do we do usually? We weld the little stem on the side, right, at the end of it, so you can grab it with the tongs. So I had a little bit of an extra long piece of steel there, and I left that right there, and I used that to grab it instead of welding a little stem in there, because I had the problem where my stem was breaking off, and what I'm going to do from now on, I will leave one of my layers about an inch longer and use that as a stem. I mean, I guess it's a good little thing that I found out. I mean, I don't know if anybody else does it. I'd never seen it. So,
tell them what else you're doing. Tell them what else you're doing. The crushed Viagra instead of the borax.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Crushed Viagra powder.
Yeah. I'm super happy. I'm pumped with this, and now I'm spitballing a new build that will start on Sunday. It's going to involve a canister and 2 billets of Damascus, and then forge weld all 3 together into a single blade. So it's
nice.
getting
Nice.
complex right now. My creative juices are flowing.
You need to twist one of your bars, Damascus.
My vice is not properly secured for that.
Oh.
I'm afraid as I'm trying to twist it, the whole thing is gonna come undone. You know.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, while you're looking at that knife, what do you have that sanded up to? I mean, that's like really your 15 and 20 is
so
it's like mirror polished.
I hand sanded it to 600 before my first etch on the ferric. Then I did 3 5-minute intervals on ferric each time. I hand sanded with 1,000, and then I did 3 more, and then I hand sanded those with 2,000. Once that was done, then I went into the coffee, and there you go.
And sunshine cloth?
Yep, a little bit on the sunshine cloth, just on the 15 and 20. And a little bit of Mother's Carnauba wax to finish everything. Give it a little nice shine. You know?
Yeah, because you have a unique. It's not just this mirror finish. It's almost a muted shine that still has this beautiful shine coming out from the shadows. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like it doesn't just come out and shine like a mirror. It comes out and it just kind of comes out of nowhere, and it just has this beautiful sheen.
So I thought about naming this knife, and like I said, I forged it at night under the moonlight outside. So I don't know. I mean, I thought about moonshine, but no, not moonshine. It'll give some negative connotations there.
What's wrong with moonshine?
No. I think because it has this nice little streak of 15 and 20 in the middle, I guess moon streak should fit well.
Right.
What do you think?
So you're streaking under the moon.
I would use something with Luna.
Nah. No light.
Moon streak, like you said, you take your clothes off and
there you go, see?
forge nude. So moon streak. I got
Perfect,
it. There
right?
you go. Yeah, and with that mirror finish in it, do you watch yourself streak when you're out
Absolutely.
There? There you go.
Absolutely.
Or shave. Watch yourself while you shave.
It's a beautiful knife, Otis here. It's
real nice.
It's very beautiful. Train, choo train. What are you doing? What are you doing, brother?
Oh man, working on. Well, we had like 3.5 days of rain.
Are you still cutting down trees? Are you still cutting up trees?
No, we got them all done except one, and my son-in-law we're gonna cut that down, and then after that we're gonna split it. So,
gotcha.
But we got it done, except one more big oak, and I don't know if we're gonna cut it or he's gonna have a friend of his cut it because he's a tree cutter.
Yes, sir.
And I told him, I said, probably be best to let him do it because it's kind of rotten. So when you have a rotten out center of a tree, it's just not good,
Right.
So,
Makes for a good YouTube. Makes for a good YouTube video that a lot of people will watch if things go just right.
Yeah. So, but no, I had steak and salad for supper tonight. Steak and salad.
Well, you were almost there. You actually had shrimp and grits.
Oh, really? Shrimp and grits?
Who had shrimp and grits?
I always tell you what you were going to have, and you go,
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so undoubtedly you're trying to throw me off, so it must have been shrimp and grits.
It was shrimp and grits. You're right there.
There you go. Yeah. Steak and salad. All right.
I had some cow juice.
Cow juice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Those are those juices that come out of the slow cooker beef ribs.
Oh, I was going to say. I was going to say.
We freeze it into little blocks, and then when I'm coming home out of a rainy, cold day like it was today, put that on a pot, bring it to a boil, warm it up. Done, man. That thing is amazing.
I was going to say the juice you may have got mixed up. What comes out of a cow is not the same that comes out of a bull. And if you're drinking bull juice, maybe that's a Brazil thing.
No. Cow juice. Bull juice, no good.
Squeezed.
Freshly squeezed.
Ooh.
No, Working well. It's been raining. It rained for like 3.5 days down here.
Yeah.
And I found a leak. I have a metal roof, and it's about 8 years old. But I found couple little leaks.
Shop or house?
My house. In the
Oh
house.
goodness! Oh goodness! Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So I called the guy a friend of ours. I called him, and he came out, looked at it, and I think we got it fixed. But been doing that. Been working on some knives. I put a knife up. There's 2 knives that I put in cryo. I've proven it. Well, everybody knows that cryo, especially with stainless steel, cryo does make a difference.
Where do you get your cryo juice from?
There's a welding shop about 23 miles from the house.
Oh wow!
And I'll run up there and get it. And it's about $45 for 10 liters.
Okay. And
so you have a dewar and everything?
Yeah, I bought a dewar here back for Christmas.
How wide is the opening in the top? I mean, I guess a lot of those knives will fit in there. I guess.
Yeah, 1.9. So that's just a hair less than the 2-inch.
Okay.
So you got to kind of make your knives to fit that if you're going to.
Yeah.
If not, you'll have to pour the liquid nitrogen in a container and put it down in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, liquid nitrogen.
Have you ever tried like the dry ice and alcohol thing? I mean, does that work at all, or do you really need the nitrogen?
Well, I was going to go that route, but I figured out that the dry ice and alcohol gets it around 90 below zero, to 100 below zero. But cryo, when you use liquid nitrogen, it gets to 300 degrees below zero. And I figured it out on paper. Time you buy the dry ice, which is about $2, I'm thinking it's around $2 a pound, I think it is. And for dry ice. And then you got to spend a gallon of alcohol. That's going to run you about, I don't know what it is now. It used to be about $18 a gallon.
Rubbing alcohol or denatured alcohol?
Denatured alcohol.
Good. Okay, cool.
And every time you do that, you're looking at probably, I don't know, $2 a pound. You get, say, 10 pounds, $20. Then you figure another $40. And then you can go buy the dewar, and then you could do cryo liquid nitrogen. This lasts me now it's going on. I'm over 2 months with it right now. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's, it's just a trade-off. So I said, why not just go ahead and do it right,
Speaking of doing it right, you know what that makes me think of?
Mountain Dew.
Eric Rivers.
Seagulls.
Pops Knife Supplies. They were started 40 years ago by James Poplin. Man, just had everything. He supplied knife makers, one of the first ones getting out there and doing all that. And not only did he provide great products at great prices, he charged you shipping, and he refunded you the difference when he got his actual shipping costs. Well, 40 years later, the 3 owners over at Pop's Knife Supply is doing the very same thing. Not only have they expanded into a much larger facility over in Gainesville, Georgia. Please stop in and see that museum of knife making, as well as a warehouse of supplies. Go over there and buy something. And if you can't go, order online. And just like Mr. James Poplin had done for all those years now, James has been gone since 2022. Passed away, bless him. But they still refund that shipping cost, the difference. And this week I ordered pins from Pop's Knife Supplies. By gosh, they were here in a couple of days. Got a few dollars back on shipping. So, hey, go out and visit popsknifesupplies.com or popsknife.supplies. See what they have to offer. That was pretty good. I think I've redeemed myself getting back in. Yeah. And speaking of being redeemed, you also should go out and check out redeemsteel.com. Guys over at Redeem Steel use their hands, their minds, and their hearts to build back people's lives. They use it to build schools, build buildings, build lives back for people that are broken. They're a 501(c), and they use the words and the heart and of Jesus Christ to turn people's lives around. See what they can do for you if you're looking for some answers in life and looking for some healing that Jesus Christ can only bring. Get in touch with Billy over at redeemsteel.com and see what they can do. And hey, if you have something to offer as far as your on mission work in your life, get in touch with Billy as well. That's at redeemsteel.com.
Is
You'll be
it
glad you did.
3C or C3?
C3PO.
No, you said there are 501(c)(3)Cs. 501(c)(3) or 501(c)(3)?
501c3.
Right. Cool. I'm sorry.
What's the difference? Because I think I got it wrong again, I guess. What's the difference?
I don't know. You got dyslexic there for
501c3 PO R2D2 3000 Cherry 2000 Cherry 6000. What was that movie? Cherry 6000 or Cherry 2000 or something like that?
About the cyborg woman?
The cyborg girl, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I'm somebody told me I was a protected species this week because I'm over 50. It was one of our attorneys at work. He said, "You realize
you're a threatened species. I'm about to get there in about 5 years." So
yeah, he said, "You realize you're a protected class right now." Just goofing on me, and I'm like, "What does that mean?" He goes, "You're over 50," and I'm like, "No one can fire me." He goes, "Oh yeah, they can fire you, but they have to make sure they don't fire you because of your age." I'm like, "Well, okay." So I still have to be a hard worker. So he's a good guy. I work for a wonderful company. So go check out Redeem Steel and Pop's Knife Supplies. You will be excited you did. I think we've gone around the table, and I do want to let the cat out of the bag, and I held it up for you guys. I, from time to time, will venture out into something new to stretch my skill set to grow somewhere else. And I'm very kind of analytical in the way I look at things and grow into something. And I like to surprise people because I surprised Otis here with something that looked a lot like the style of knife he typically makes. And
I'm very proud of you,
Well, thank you for that. But also I'm honored with you. And that's one thing about us knife makers. And there's so much generosity and love that goes around, except for that one guy that you can take a picture, but you can't make it. It's the only guy I ever met. Of course, when I showed Otis here a picture of my knife I'm making, he said something about you'll never be able to make it. So, and he was referencing that particular gentleman. It's still an inside joke, but poor Eric Rivers. But so I was able to do the grind. I will tell you, you should never lie in life. I started out hand grinding, and I got a little bit anxious, so I went to a Origin Blade Maker grinding jig that I've got.
Ooh.
Oh man, come on! You're walking backwards now.
Yeah, then backed up. Man,
it's okay. It's okay because I think that what you do is that when you start with success and ease yourself into something, Otis here wasn't making masterpieces in the beginning. He grew into it. So what I did find out, and you didn't let me finish before you jumped on me like a gang beat in or something. I started out and I started feeling a little jealous or feeling a little. What I realized where I get anxious on something, especially something as faceted as the knife that I'm trying to make, is getting in that initial grind and being able to get it in and hold it up to the belt and pull it across. So when I got it where I had a uniform bevel on both sides, I took it off the jig and I went back and I ground it all the way and went through the belt progressions and got it here. So I was about 30% into it when I took it off the jig. So next time, of course, I'll go in and I'll, do a steep angle on my center line, and then I'll go out and ground it like I always do. Without fear, because I wanted to put one in my pocket that I felt looked good. And then I'll start going from there. And then probably my third knife, I'm going to go ahead and try and forge it out, flatten it, and, forge it to shape, flatten it, and then go ahead and do the grinding from there. Interestingly enough, Otis here is very gracious this week. He sent me a template to help me on designing my guard. And so tomorrow I go through my first guard study. Of course, I've made guards and bolsters and stuff before, and this is a little bit different than that. Of course, you're rounding in that finger choil area, so to speak. Is that the right term? Finger choil?
Yeah.
Finger guard. Yeah. Yeah,
It's not a
and
finger
so,
ring; it's a finger guard, I guess.
yeah, just where it kind of rounds in there and it flattens out. There's probably a name for it. I just have to reference it. That's the best I can do right now. But so I'm going to make that tomorrow, and then the next thing is that I've not been real successful on making those nice crisp handles. I know how to profile them. I know how to get them down, but I've watched several videos this week, and even Eric Rivers' advice about when you're sanding out, not going over where the angle changes because you're just going to wash it out. You've got to, you've got to be direct on what the shape you're trying to put into it. And if you look at it like clay, if I wanted a shape if I'm making a clay bust of a face, I don't want to sit and rub all over the face when I'm trying to get the contour of a cheekbone in. You want to just deal with the cheekbone. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this comes out, and then I'll make a second one from there.
Do you have a set of small wheel attachments?
I do. I've got everything.
He's got.
All right. So when you're gonna grind that section of the choil,
yes,
for the guard, that section,
for the finger,
there, small wheel attachment will take you all the way.
Right. And
what size?
Pardon me.
What size, Pinto? What size
It
wheel?
depends on the size of the knife that I'm working on. I have a small one, I think is 1/2 inch, and then it goes, I think, all the way up to an inch in smaller increments. So this one, I think I used the smallest one I had.
Yeah.
So, yep.
And then you're kind of rocking it in that small wheel to get that round over, right?
Yep.
Just, so
you go in on the sides.
Yeah.
Right, and then you start rounding it as much as possible.
Yes. And do you sand and treat that steel similar to your blade as far as getting the shine and the everything on it? So so we're going to see how that goes. I've got some mild steel and I've also got some stainless steel, and I was going to work with both. And Otis here says use the mild steel. I'm going to start with that one, but I do want to make someone out of stainless since I bought a little block.
The reason I don't like stainless is because it's gummy. Kind of gums up the belt, and it's like, besides that, you want something that is going to age equally to the knife, right? So the stainless will stay stainless way longer than your carbon, and as your knife ages, again, personal preference, I would like my guard to follow the same kind of oxidation that is showing up on the knife over time,
right?
Instead of having a gray knife and a shiny guard.
Oh, that's actually a smart. That's a valid point. I like that.
So besides gumming up the belt, it like I said, it stays different from the rest of your knife. I mean, when you finish, everything is sort of equal. You have a nice shiny blade in there, and the guard is shiny and everything. But as you start to use the knife and you start cutting fish or meat or stuff like this, inevitably that high carbon steel will start to patina almost immediately after your first use.
Yeah,
and there's going to be a difference in tone and colors in there, and I want everything to sort of match. Again, personal preference. A lot of people do aluminum. A lot of people do brass or copper. Nothing wrong. Again, personal preference. Not there is not a single way to do it.
I was up when I was up in North Carolina this week. A gentleman that I made a hunting knife for a couple years ago. He brought it to me. Still looks beautiful. The brass is a little tarnished, and the handle's in great shape. Knife's in wonderful shape. But he dressed out a bear with it this past year, and he wanted me to sharpen it for him because going through all the bear hide and the fur and bone and everything, it still was sharp, but it didn't have that razor edge that it had before. So the neat thing was I brought a Lansky with me, and in probably 10 minutes, I was slicing tissue paper again with it. It was just wonderful. and that was a 1084 knife. When I brought it back to him, I said, I could not take any of the patina off of this because you can tell some of these are blood splatters from the acid in the blood and this, that, and the other. Why would I want to take that off? Because there's a story in what's on your knife right there from that. So you're talking about, so you talk about, when you cut something or do something, having the whole knife carry that story. And that's what I liked about it, because there was a section on there where you could tell it was liquid and it had been on it, and it was likely blood or something, because I've seen the pictures from when he dressed out the bear, and it was covered in blood droplets and congealed blood and all this stuff. And that was still was what was on the knife. So we left that there, and it was pretty cool. I had another knife, a guy I talked to today. He got his knife and he said, "Thank you. I got the knife. It's just gorgeous. I love it." It's the one I forged out. Posted pictures of here recently. I had the little Shegman Kniver leather medallion with it when I shipped it. I don't know if you saw that picture, but he said it was just beautiful.
That's a nice idea.
And he says, "Yeah, I'm going to wear it today to the pregnancy center." And this guy's in his 60s, and I'm like, "Why are you wearing a knife to a pregnancy center?" And I just don't want to know. I assume he's just wearing the knife because he's proud of it. Maybe he's up there, maybe Right to Life or something like that. I don't know, it's fine. But I'm like,
that's the one with the zebra wood for the handle you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah. But
you did a really good job on that one there with your.
Thank you.
Integral.
Thank you. It just kind of shocked me when I'm wearing it to the pregnancy center. I'm like, okay. You ever said, would you sell your knife to somebody that was going to use it in a crime or in a way you wouldn't want it used? And I'm always one of those guys. Just don't tell me. I don't want to know. Please don't use it in a bad way. And that was.
As a matter of fact, if you're gonna go in style, right? What better than a custom knife to go do some work?
I just didn't know why somebody was taking it to a pregnancy center. And I watched the news this evening. Everything was fine. So.
I shouldn't laugh.
No knife attack. Huh? That's good. That's a good thing.
Nobody defending themselves either. So, him defending himself. So, anyway.
Hey, just picture this, right? Dude is caught doing some shenanigans. He got your Shegman knives on him, and then during trial,
the logo is plastered all over the internet.
This dude had this custom-made knife from Shegman Knives.
Well, you know how I like to drum up business on. You know how I like to drum up business on Facebook. That'd be stories and pictures and reels everywhere, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Free publicity.
I don't think I want that publicity, but I will tell you. Using that knife and the one I'm making right now, I use some of the best abrasives in the world. And those come from Phoenix Abrasives. They offer great prices, selection, quality, and quick delivery. Everybody makes a ceramic belt. Everybody makes a great ceramic belt. But what sets Phoenix apart is their prices, their selection, their quality, and they get it to you fast. Something more important? Enter Templars 10 at checkout for 10% off your next order. Phoenix Abrasives.
Get her done.
Get it while it lasts. I had on tonight's notes to sit and talk about how do we get that perfect, that beautiful finish that Odysseus gets on his knives. And then Mark, without knowledge of that, he's using his psychic abilities, probably the same ones that he uses. Well, as a matter of fact, if you were not able to swim to Canada, and all you could rely on was your psychic abilities, Mark, where would you go? Psychically, psychologically,
psychologically, I go to Canada
to
Maritime Knife Supply.
We almost have to feed this to you, my friend. Yes, and you need to go up there. And Lawrence Lake's another great one up there, guys. Go out and see him at maritimeknifesupply.com or maritimeknifesupply.ca. If you put in .ca, it doesn't quite take you there if you're in the States, but if you go to maritimeknifesupply.com, it will definitely get you there. And I got in a bunch of supplies from Lawrence up at Maritime Knife Supply this week, and I'm looking forward to getting into them tomorrow. I've got pins and steel and drill bits and all kinds of things, and they were here in just a few days from the faraway land of Canada. Hey. I think he's down in. I think he's down in. Where is he? Canada. 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 Canada Texas this week because I saw Jason Fry sporting some Maritime Knife Supply gear.
Yeah.
Magnets.
Do you know where else I got a shipment from another company this week. I forgot to bring that up.
Go for it.
Well, and I think you might have gotten a shipment too, right? From McMaster Car.
No.
Did you get some of those drill bits? Oh, I thought you bought some of those drill bits.
I went through Jan's and Maritime for some in-stock items.
Okay. Yeah. So no, I got a couple of those drill bits that what were we talking about last episode?
Kyle,
the self-clearing drill bits.
Kyle Daly.
Oh yeah, Kyle was talking about.
Everybody in the industry laughs at Kyle. He does not know what he's doing.
That's awesome.
I mean, I don't know if you really want to follow what Kyle Daly's doing. He's got the number 2 podcast. Everything he makes is called Buddy.
It doesn't.
Yeah, Buddy.
But people are still buying it, so it doesn't matter if he knows what he's doing.
People bought fidget spinners, and they finally figured them out.
Mm-hmm.
No, that Kyle Daly is an encyclopedia of knife making. I'm surprised. I know why he's Dr. Laren Thomas's favorite podcaster, because man's cool. So you followed that and went to McMaster Car at his advice. So how did you like the material you got?
Well, so I haven't tried them yet, but I think my problem is that one, I've been using my drill bits way too long, right? Like, so I have that same problem of with people have with belts, and I'm trying to get over my belt problem of getting rid of belts, before they're 3 years old.
Yeah.
The same way with drill bits is that, I started looking, he was talking, and then I started looking at my drill bits, and I was like, wow, I've been using the same drill bits for like 2 years. And so I know. So I was like, hey, it's time to get some new drill bits, especially for drilling the holes in those scales so that they're, real centered and smooth. And because I found some of my scale holes, if they're wallowed just a little bit, right, you start seeing that epoxy come through on the side and it doesn't look clean.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was time. And now I got to get a couple other bits for, just for my steel drill bits.
I watched Kyle Royer hand sharpen his own bits this past week on something he was making. He was like, I'm going to sharpen this bit before I do this. And I watched him on his belt grinder, and I was like, son of a gun. Just stop it. Just stop it.
That's a ticket.
Bits are disposable, and I know they're not, but it was just like the man sitting there hand sharpening bits on a belt grinder, and I was like, stop it.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
You do too?
Yeah.
All right, you stop it. Stop it. What are you eating, Josh?
Well, I mean, like cobalt? What kind of drill bits are you sharpening?
Oh, just high speed steel.
Okay.
And
high speed steel,
135 degree angle, which I use my micrometers to achieve. And
micrometers.
That's all she wrote.
Is the micrometer, is that what comes on both sides of your eyes or on both sides of your nose?
Exactly. Yep.
Gotcha. I'm going to use that sometime with some folks.
I like it. I'm writing it down.
In the metrology world, there's a 3D scanner that I used to use called an ATOS, and at my previous job, we called it an ITOS whenever you just looked at something and told them what the distance is. It's like, it's about 3 millimeters. I use my
Josh. Josh, I need you to do some government work for me. I need to send you an image that you can turn into a little leather stamp for me. Can you print something out on and I can use it as a leather stamp?
I can.
I'll get with you later on that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Don. Thank you.
I got a tip from Mark and anybody that's listening out there. When you go to buy your bits, always get 2 bits, man. 2 or 3 of everyone. Yeah, don't just buy one.
That's what I did for these. No, like every time I buy a bit, I buy 2.
Buy 2. And what you do, you set one aside for handle material only.
Okay.
And when it starts getting dull, you start using that one for drilling into your tang.
All right.
So,
I like
yeah,
it. That is
yeah.
a good tip.
If you'll do that, then because after you drilled in your tang a few times, it'll start wobbling out if you ain't careful. So yeah, that's what I do. And then that way you have, you can, when you're drilling into your tang, it's, you can, if it's a little dull, it's okay, but it's not okay if you're drilling wooden handles, micarta handles, G10, because you will have breakout and tear out.
Yeah.
So, and I always, when I'm drilling micarta or G10, I always put tape on the backside when I'm drilling through, on the backside of the blade. That way it will help. Sometimes it don't, sometimes it does, but it will help support the fibers, especially when you're using vintage micarta. It can tear out. And but yeah, that's
if you
just a
back
tip
it
for you.
up too with a if
Yeah,
you
you can
back
back
it
it
up
up
too
too.
with another piece of micarta or a piece of
Yep,
wood, that
sure
helps
can.
too.
Yep. But usually you don't want to, if you ain't got nothing big enough, you don't want to waste it micarta. It's like, oh crap, you don't want to waste it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man. But some people use aluminum plates, but I don't want. Yeah. But try that, Mark. I think you're gonna like that because that's something I've learned to do years ago when I was the woodworker. So back to you, Chip.
And with that silence, we say, guys, go out to Amerigrade and Amerigrade grinders and accessories. You can find them at Ameribraid, not Amerigrade. Screwed that one up. Shall we start over, Don? No, because Amerigrade, they are grade A at
That's
Ameribraid.
right.
And
good recovery.
yeah, Eric and Kevin do a great job. Matter of fact, we're going to have them on the show here soon. I'm excited to say they got some of the best grinders in the world. I don't even want to talk about the Get Grinding and the intermediate package. I want you guys to go out and get the Majestic, not the Majestic, the Mastery, because then we'll talk about Majestic Forges. So let me just start over again. Go out and get the Mastery package. Get your small wheels. Get your cooling cup. Get your variable speed drive. Get your stand. Get your stickers. Get all those boxes and have fun putting it together. You can get it in 110 or 220. You can just dial that thing in just like you want, but you can find them at ameribraid.com. And I will tell you, the exciting part is I buy change parts for mine, and Kevin and Eric offer the Knives Templars a special discount for us and our listeners. And that's if you put in Templars 20 at checkout, you'll get 20% off parts and accessories.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Hey man, can't get any better than that.
No. Anybody else got it?
I'm done, boss. I'm done.
Like,
I love it.
No.
I'm tired, boss. I love it when people offer 20% discounts.
That's good. That's a good discount, man. That's really
I can
good.
rest on that. Yeah. Hey, have y'all heard much from Oleg Bashkovich these days?
I sort of texted him this week.
Yeah.
I think we're having some issues with stuff coming from Russia or something.
Not necessarily his fault, but
absolutely not his fault. I mean, it got probably, I had a package coming in and it's been probably lost in customs in New York for about 2 months now.
So maybe it will show up.
I think he's gonna send me another package from his store in Pennsylvania, and if the first one ever shows up, I'll pay him again. So no problem there.
Yeah, so we don't always know what's going on in Russia, and I see his store is very active and everything. I hope he's doing well. I mean,
coming from there to New York was fine.
Yeah,
I followed the tracking history all the way where it gets into New York Customs.
Yeah.
And then it's in New York Customs since December 9th, 2023, right? And we already at the end of February, and, so it might be lost or somebody just, look at this shiny little block. Let me take it home.
I'm telling you, nobody should be doing business in New York anymore.
That's right. Get it rid of.
I agree.
Get it.
Yeah.
Get out.
So we'll see what happens. I mean,
And I'm not talking about Oleg. I'm just talking about
No,
New
no,
York.
Oleg
New
is
York.
fine, man. He's
Yeah.
a super responsive guy. I sent him a message. He replied right away.
Oh, excellent. Good.
So he's doing what he can to make it right. He's probably going to ship me, the same number of blocks, but from his store here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Philadelphia area, I believe it.
And like I said, if the first batch ever shows up, I'll be happy to pay him again. I mean, no problem
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Well, you can't, customs sometimes, as all of us knife makers know, when it hits the U.S., I don't even ship U.S. mail anymore. Everything I do is through UPS or
UPS
FedEx.
is the way.
I pay extra money for UPS and FedEx, but when they condense all of those centers into everything.
I totally condemn FedEx. I
Okay.
don't use FedEx. I hate them bastards. I will never use FedEx in my life.
So we finally got you eating nails and crapping barbed wire. Let it go. Come on,
Listen, man. I ordered a special piece of kit once.
Yeah.
And we live in small row buildings with condos, right?
Can we say knife-wood.com so people go to Oleg?
Absolutely. Go find Oleg at knife-wood.com, okay?
All right. Now tell
With
us
that
about...
said, let me go back to my rant about FedEx.
Let's crap some barbed wire. Here we go.
Okay, so I ordered this really expensive piece of kit a while back. And, of course, they had to ship it via FedEx. And my address is in the box. Supposed to come right to my door. My wife was home. It was a Friday. I told her, keep an eye out for FedEx. It's set for delivery any minute now. And I'm at work. Late afternoon, I get a notification on my phone. Your package has been delivered. Okay, I call my wife. Yo, is my box there? She says, no, ain't nothing here. So, I'm looking at my phone, talking to my wife. I said, man, those bastards delivered it at a different address. To go outside and look, because it's a $3,500 piece of kit.
Yep.
Not only they delivered to the wrong address, they delivered in the wrong building.
Oh.
And they faked my signature on the pad.
Oh, man.
Right?
Yep.
So, I mean, that's why I really, really hate them with a passion. I will never ship anything via FedEx. I will pay extra if I have to, but I will use UPS or even a postal service. Screw them.
Well, what I was going to say, here's my crapping barbed wire portion of that, is that when Trump, and this one thing he did that I didn't like, trying to save money, is consolidated all of these sorting centers. So where our mail used to go to Huntsville, Alabama, now basically everything here in North Alabama goes to Birmingham. And everything that goes to Birmingham ends up shuffled in the middle of nowhere land, and stuff can sit there for days. And then you'll see it go out to some other city that makes no sense. Let's just say it goes to Nevada, Carson City, Nevada, or whatever. Not that it's gone to a city like that, but it's just weird like that. And then all of a sudden it shows back up in Birmingham again.
Yeah.
So somehow or another, it ended up in another city, came back. And by the time it gets to somebody, they're almost a little angry at you, and you have no control over it. Even when you're sending things certified, with tracking.
Yep. And that was not the first time.
The shipping service.
I ordered a couple of things once, and again, they shipped via FedEx. I am in Beltsville, Maryland. The thing was coming from Texas, right? It went all the way to New York, so it went past me. And then it came down back to Virginia, so it passed me again. So they had my box rolling in the truck for like 3 days. And it was set for delivery at a certain date, and they delivered 3 days later. Luckily, it wasn't anything perishable or breakable, but sure. I mean, again, nope.
Yeah, I've had the same problem with FedEx, big time.
All right.
So as you can hear by my voice, that really works me out, man. It's like.
So I'm looking for an update here. My Vice and file guide arrived again 8:00 this morning in Nashville, and there it still sits. I don't think it's going to be delivered by the end of the day today, but I'm still quite excited that it's all the way from Turkey to at least Nashville. So
it'll be Monday, right?
I don't know if DHL delivers on Saturday or not. That's the next thing. We can look that up.
Talking about DHL, right? Yeah. Here we go. A friend of mine, he ordered a whole batch of knives made in Brazil, custom and production knives, right? He was collecting and he was reselling them here. And they got it shipped via DHL. Needless to say, it never arrived. And nobody knows what happened to all them beautiful Damascus blades that were shipped from Brazil, right? So I guess insurance had to cover it, but again, I'm gonna tell you, man, there are some shady people out there just snatching things out of trucks and boxes, and quote unquote misplacing them, and it's lost forever. So
it says here, Monday through Friday, they also provide services such as weekend delivery, but some of these say they do not deliver on Saturday. So Saturday or Monday, it's okay. I'm not going to use those parts right away anyway. I was just excited. Santa Claus is coming to town. What do you call what do you call Turkish Santa Claus?
Glue, 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 glue.
Say that again. I didn't quite get it.
Gulu, gulu, gulu.
There's probably not a Santa Claus in Turkey, being predominantly Muslim country, which is fine, but let's find out. Turkish, we're using our brain here. Turkish Delight. Now that's delicious. If they don't have Santa Claus, at least they've got Turkish Delight. C-L-A-U-S Claus. There we go. Santa Claus is known worldwide in the ancient Mediterranean coast of Turkey. Ooh, Turkey does have Santa Claus. There you go. So Santa Claus is coming to town all the way from the Turkish coast. Hope he's got some Turkish, what did I call that stuff that's good? See? Turkish
Delight.
Turkish Delight. Hopefully there's some Turkish, that he shoved some Turkish Delight in the box. My friends from Norway always throw brown cheese in the box. Tastes like, it smells like, but it tastes good. So maybe there's some Turkish Delight in the box here. So, that's just majestic. That's a majestic service. And speaking of majestic, you want to go out to majesticforge.com. Why not get yourself one of the same forges that they use on Forged in Fire? As a matter of fact, I've got one of the 3 burners. They come in 1, 2, and 3 burner sizes. And if you get the 3 burner, you need to plan on getting a 100-pound cylinder so you don't freeze that sucker up. But, typically you're going to use 1 burner. I very rarely turn on 2 burners unless I've got a large piece of steel. Never have turned on 3. But I figured the great Chris Jones said, buy once, cry once. So I went with all 3. But anyway, go out to majesticforge.com and see if they have a forge for you today.
There you go.
Da-da, 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 da-da. So you guys want to answer some questions?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Yep.
All right. First question is, how many knives do you think Jason Fry has sold?
5.
Oh, since I just texted him, I know the answer.
Talking about
No doubt.
What's that?
What?
I texted him like 3 seconds ago.
What did he say?
He said I sold 1 today.
All right.
Hello, it's Jason.
Hello, Jason. This is Chip Carlisle from the Knives Templars podcast.
Chip, how are you?
I'm fine. Unfortunately, you can't hear the rest of our fine podcasters. We've got Chillicothe Smedweather, which is me. We've got Don Odisir, Josh Ferran, the great knife maker. He's a contestant. You've heard of him.
He's infamous, actually.
He is emphasis. He is emphasis. Infamous or something like that. And then we've got VMAX, and we were we were getting ready to have a contest to see how many knives you sold today, and unfortunately, Mark's been cheating and texting you behind the scenes.
Correct. That is true.
So, Mark, you win nothing, even though you were right. So, how is Blade Show? How is Blade Show going this year?
It's pretty good. They expanded the room a little bit, so we've got 1/3 more space than we had. So there was 2 sections, now there's 3. Crowds are pretty good. A lot of folks coming through. Sales have been okay. It was busy enough. I didn't have time to walk around, so I don't know how everybody's doing really.
Right.
But I sold 1 knife off the table, and my brother's with me there, and he actually sold 3. He sold his big fancy pair and then 1 more. So all around a pretty good day for the Fry brothers.
Well, excellent. That is good. So you've paid for the table then?
Yeah, definitely. We're right there.
Excellent.
So it's good.
So if people want to come out and see the great Jason Fry tomorrow and get a sign, because I'm going to get this out early in the morning.
Okay, cool, yeah.
They're going to come to the, where is the...
This is at the Fort Worth Convention Center in Texas. So, and I am at table 5K, like run over there to table 5K,
So, and the way people can
knives cost 5K, not really.
Yeah. And the way people can remember that is Jason is like Special K.
Right. My middle initial is K, but it's not 5. Sorry.
Yeah. So come by 5 Knives at Special K's table. They're 5K.
Something like that. Yeah. That sounds good. Sounds good.
Well, you have any other great tips for us? It doesn't have to be anything profound and long, just profound. What do you have to say?
I would say that knife shows are great for sales, but I've said before, I think that they're also great for networking and seeing and being seen. I mean, I've met today 100 people that I've seen before, and I know I've seen them at a show. Some of them have bought from me before. I'm not good enough to remember all of them with their names, but the ability for somebody to come up and say, yeah, I saw you here last year. I saw that knife on Instagram. You don't get that unless you're actually there in person.
For sure.
Knife shows are not necessarily a place to get rich, but they are a rich experience.
Excellent. And did you pay $15 for a hot dog and a bottle of water today?
I did not. We actually went to the grocery store and brought some stuff in our backpacks and ate trail mix, drank a Dr. Pepper. Yeah. So I didn't have to suffer the ill effects of knife show food.
Yep. Not only the ill effects, but you lose all your money and the food. It's kind of like it was. Otis, here, you look like you have a question.
No, I'm just attentively listening to.
He's attentively listening. I know you can't hear him, but I will say, just to let you know, Otis here did eat some nails, and he crapped barbed wire over the show today in the way of his opinion of FedEx. So you'll have to listen to the show driving back on Sunday.
Definitely will. Thanks for getting it out tomorrow.
Well, listen, you get some sleep, and we hope you sell a dozen tomorrow.
Yeah, man.
And if you've got 13, we hope you sell 13. So have a blessed show, and we'll let you tell us all about it next episode.
All right.
See you.
Talk to y'all later. Bye.
See you, buddy.
The magic of telephones.
Right.
We couldn't have done this 100 years ago.
Good thing we're not 100 years ago.
Yeah. You think we ought to see if we can get Eric?
Yeah. This is if we don't have a guest, we don't have Broadback, then we could just get all the Knives Templars.
Let's see if we can get Eric Rivers on here and get his. You think he and Rich probably went to bed early? They're probably sharing a bed and went to bed early. Save money, Let's see if Rivers.
Who's the spoon? Who's the fork? Right?
I think they both are.
Oh, okay.
Every flip.
Now, Eric is really hard to pick up the phone, man.
I know. Let's see if we can get him. I think we're going to get his answer machine. Yep. 1 ringy dingy, 4 ringy dingies. There you go. It's going.
Please leave your message for 9409.
Hey.
Does everybody know his number now?
Oh, he's calling us back. Oh, hey, Eric.
Hi.
Eric Rivers.
What's going on?
I just gave everybody your phone number over the podcast. I got to go back and beep that out sometime tomorrow at an hour 35. Okay, I know where to. Yeah, we have the voicemail, and they're all laughing at me, and they're like, "You're giving his phone number away." It's probably on your website anyway, isn't it?
Not my cell phone number.
Oh, okay. You can't hear them. I'm not sure if you can hear them or not, so I don't think you can. But they're all giggling right now. We've got myself, Don, Odyssey, Josh, and Mark on tonight, and we wanted to get a little show update from our eyes in the sky and feet on the floor, and I will go back and I will put in whatever your area code was and 867-5309, and that way people can talk to Jenny. If they can get through to Jenny, then they can get through to you. Hi, this is Jenny. I'd like to speak to Eric, please. Would you hold? And then we'll just put him in indefinite hold. Hey, how's Blade Show going?
It's going fantastic. We just got done eating some dinner, and I'm watching someone get real close to Matt's truck.
Interesting you say get real close, because we all took a vote, and we thought that you and Rich were probably already in the sack tonight, resting for tomorrow's show, spooning with each other.
Oh, God.
No. We're about to go to the pit for a little bit. And we just got done eating some dinner. We ate some pizzas, a place called Tane Rosa, which was absolutely awesome.
Right.
And now we're about to get in the vehicle, and we're going to go and hang out at the pit for a couple of hours. Then we're going to go and rest. But it was a good show.
Will there be spoonage?
5 knives. Good deal.
Probably.
Later.
Probably. That there will be spoonage.
We got us an Airbnb this go around, so we got a house.
How many guys are staying with you?
It's just me, and then Matt and Chip. Not Chip. Me, Matt, and Chad.
I don't go to those kind of parties that you guys are having. Trust me. And you know that they're all laughing.
You go to the pit.
No, I'm not talking about the pit. I'm talking about the after party at your shack. You know, the Shaggy Shack. But I will say this. I'm only acting this way because I'm extremely jealous of your talent and the fact that you've sold all these knives so far today. Did you sell which knives? Any particular knives that you sold that stand out?
So you will know the one that I did that has the green handle with the exposed carbon fiber.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one.
A viewer bought that, and then I did a fully forged or forged to finish buoy a little while back with the full Coke bottle handle,
right?
To where the actual rounded segment of the Coke bottle was moved back.
Yes.
So typically when you have a Coke bottle handle, the transition's like halfway.
Yes.
This one is the first 3 fingers are on the main body, and then it has a nice Coke bottle piece. But yeah, I did one of those, and then some EDCs, and that full forged kind of cleaver thing that I did.
Right.
That was the happy accident.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, the happy accident.
My hammer guy, Mr. Two Bastard Forge himself, bought that one.
Oh wow,
Ooh, cool.
All right.
And so it was a good day.
That is wonderful.
I'll tell you this: a little bit of a thing that would make your life a lot easier is to do what I did and utilize your website, because there are certain people that don't have access to Venmo or PayPal. But what I did was I put everything that I brought with me on my website. And then if they needed to pay with card, I just had them go on my website right there.
Good
buy
deal.
them off the website and select it as a pickup as opposed to a shipping one.
Yes,
and they were able to buy
That's a great idea.
with their credit cards or whatever.
Everybody on the podcast right now is going, brilliant. So high five on that one. High five. And Jason Fry, we just got off the phone with him, said he sold He sold some knives. Now, I haven't got in touch with Chris. Now, do you know if he sold anything or you ran into him?
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's sold a few. His table looks his table makes my table look like it's not even a table.
Well, your table is gorgeous, so that's saying something.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's got those beautiful magnetic wood block things for his displays, and he's got such a beautiful table. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Is Matthew Rich still a real clingy friend?
Yeah. What?
Is he still real clingy?
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Put him on the phone. Put him on the phone.
Here you go. Here's Matt. Clingy.
Yeah, you still a real clingy friend on him?
A little bit.
Yeah. I'm clingy on Eric too. It's just I don't want to have to compete with you. But I've got competition. Share. Okay, that's good. I've got Otis here.
There's plenty of Eric to go around. He's got a lot of subscribers.
There is a lot of Eric to go around, and it's like what 37,000 or almost 40 something thousand now. But
yeah,
I saw it was hitting there. But also I've got Otis here's leg I'm clinging on to these days, making a knife as well. Are you having a good time? Are you having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
Good.
You know, and Otis here with his hand pounding Damascus.
I know.
That's something amazing.
Well,
right there.
Otis here says if you're not hand hammering Damascus and making knives with it, you're not a real knife maker.
Right.
And that
he says, and eating meat and potatoes for breakfast is what real men do. That gorgeous knives.
He said that. He said that tonight as well.
Yeah.
So. He says he's sticking
and
to
I just thought he forgot to eat his dinner, like his wife's like, you better eat that in the morning, kind of thing.
Listen, we've got one collective a piece of advice. We know that you guys are going to have fun with each other tonight. So, enjoying the pit with all the people there. When y'all go back to the Airbnb and y'all get in the hot tub, please put some Clorox in it tomorrow for the next people that come.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right.
Definitely sanitize.
Last question. How's your family doing?
Family's doing great.
Wonderful. And you having a good time at Blade Show?
I wonder if they're having more fun without me or if I'm having more fun without them.
It doesn't matter, and everybody's giggling at that. I do want to say we are jealous of you guys being there. We're jealous that we're not seeing you. Are you coming to Atlanta?
Probably not. I don't know. Probably not this year. I don't know. I want to shoot for it, but it's definitely going to be a goal for the next year, but we'll see how this year comes.
Well, we all look forward to giving you a big hug sometime because you are part of the family. Come back on the show. You've got a microphone and all that, and we'd love to have you on. Just tell Eric to set up the date, and because you've been getting into making some beautiful knives again. You're a great ambassador over at the TRE workshop, helping to moderate that, and just a good knife making friend all around. You fit that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, shut up and listen. I hadn't finished yet. and you got nice teeth. That was the last part. Okay. So anyway, you guys have a blast. We hope you sell a ton tomorrow, and take some food. Don't buy those $20 hot dogs. They're not worth $20.
It's not worth it, right? Yeah, $4 Cokes too.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, enjoy Blade Show, guys. Tell Eric goodbye. Eric, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. There you go.
Well, bye.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye, y'all. Have an awesome podcast.
All right. We're winding down. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Right.
Happy Blade Show.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was nice. That was nice.
Yep.
I wish.
The magic of telecommunications.
If they couldn't have done this 200 years ago,
right?
Nope.
Probably be sending some smoke signals or something,
or throwing coconuts at each other.
Pigeons,
messenger pigeons.
Yeah, it's amazing where we've come. And think about that. Let's wind it on down. Do you realize the United States landed another spacecraft successfully on the moon this week?
Oh, really?
Oh, really? I watched it happen. Come on, Don, you're from my generation. You sat and watched the Apollo land on the moon for the first time, all the way up through 16 in 1972, and the last crew to walk off the moon. And they'll go back again in 2025. But this week, through the ingenuity of man, and it just happened to be our country this time because other countries have done it. There's a list of 4 or 5 countries. But the United States put another spacecraft on the moon successfully. And that may not sound like a big deal when we're sending things to Mars and landing them and this, that, and the other. But we didn't bounce this one onto the surface. This was a controlled descent used with laser optics. You know, Josh is like getting all giddy about this stuff because he's a high-tech guy, using laser optics and just laid that baby down like science fiction.
I'm just surprised they still have that set where they filmed the moon landing.
Yes, and you know, the thing is that this thing. I'm getting back to you, Josh. I see the smile. The thing is that it did it on its own. Did it through its programming and its ability to make those decisions, which takes the human factor of engineering out of it. The human factor is the part that always screws up. The more you take out a human's decisions in those intricate moments, makes all the difference in the world when you engineer failures out of a process. 6 Sigma, baby, 6 Sigma. Josh, what were you going to say about the first landing? Are you a doubter?
I was just amazed that they still had the set so they could film this one.
Yeah, I heard that. Well, I tell you what. Hey, Josh, you can just drive your little car right off the side of the earth, okay, and just keep on going.
I made that joke one time in a meeting at a previous employment. Where they were talking about a project that required work on the moon, and you know, everybody was being very serious about it, but it was very obvious that we weren't going to try to bid on that project.
Right.
And we're sitting there in the discussion, and they're talking about some feasibility and like how would we even test this thing. And I said, well, you know, worst case scenario, we could always go test it on the set where they filmed the moon landing. And it was obviously a joke. And like there's like out of a room of like 15 people, like 2 people got the joke and started laughing. And the person presenting it,
but there were 3 people that went, "Yes, he's right."
That was when I realized my humor was not the place for that.
I like your humor. Nobody gets mine. I often come up flat, but I'm giggling like heck inside. So, well, guys, I'm on like hour 15 today, and for a young fellow like myself, that's a long day. And I'm glad we slid in here. We made the race back to the town. And you guys were able to jump on and make this a wonderful, successful show, able to get some of our guys in the field to come in. And, you know, that just makes me say, when things go that well, it makes me think of the Rivers Experience. And if you go to theriversexperience.com, like Eric was saying, you can see those beautiful knives that he makes. But more importantly, Eric's a great educator as well as a knife ambassador. That's an ambassador and knife person combined into one. He's a knife ambassador. When I was into bass fishing, I called myself an ambassador, which was cool. You know, as American bass fisherman, ambassador. It worked, but you have to, you know, just do the best you can with these other ones. But anyway, TRE Workshop's also on Facebook, and you can go to the group there, which all of us guys are members there, where we sit and talk about knife making day in and day out. We post pictures. So these things that Otis here shows you on the podcast, you can actually go out and see at the TRE Workshop. You can see what VMAX is making and growing. You can see what Don is doing. Don is a master. And it's hard to, excuse me, I don't want to use that master word. It gets screwed up because it has a designation. Don is a Michelangelo at what he does with stainless and the stuff he does that makes beautiful knives. Everybody here is. And if you haven't seen, and also go out there and join Alabama Custom Knife Makers Guild as well and see some of the stuff that Josh Ferran and some of those guys are making. But the antler knife and the knives that Josh made, even the one he had to go in and correct because he made a boo-boo. And, you know, a knife is 1,000 mistakes corrected until you come out with something beautiful. And sometimes they are made in, and the ability to go back and correct that is an art in itself. Go out and see what he's making. With that being said,
wait.
No, I'm not done.
Wait.
I'm going around the table.
Wait.
Oh, you wanted to compliment? You wanted
Facebook thing, right?
You wanted to compliment? You wanted to compliment me? Go ahead.
Yeah, you can also check our work at Knives Templars Facebook page and the Knives Templars Facebook group. We're always posting stuff in there all the time. Also, it's not only at the TRE workshop.
But did you know that I ghost your guys' stuff? You can't tell that I'm ghosting it, but I ghost everything you do and only leave my stuff up. Just wanted full transparency that you're being ghosted. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Thank you for bringing that up. So tomorrow morning, I'll go first. I'm getting up and I'm going to start working on making a guard. I'm going to go take a car back that I drove all the way back to Alabama today, and I'm going to play with my dog. I haven't seen him in a week, and poor thing's downstairs right now. Came through the door. I'm like, love you, love you, love you, and ran upstairs. So I'm looking forward to reconnecting with his little self and seeing my wonderful grandchildren and just having a nice restful week. And I don't have to travel next week. So I have a feeling I'm going to do some exciting first things, whether they come out perfect or well enough now until I go on to the next knife and the next knife and the next knife, because it's all a journey. So yes. Mark, what are you doing tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow morning, I am going with my wife Shannon to the barn where she has the horse. They're doing a trail ride in the morning, so we're going to go out there and do some riding first thing, and then
do you ride
after that when I do. In fact, that's how we met. We both had horses. I used to do a little team roping and stuff like that up in South Dakota.
Otisir, let me say something. You always joke on me about my resume. I'm listening to VMAX. I know exactly how you feel. Man's got he's got a dangerous resume. It's good. It's good. Wait till it's
part of his resume is actually classified, so you have that too, right?
Yeah,
I know.
That's true. That's true. Then I got to work on gonna try to get back in the shop and get some knives done. So that's the plan.
Well,
my goal is to have a whole bunch of these set up so that when the oven's here, I can stick all of them in the oven at once because they're all 8670 and get a whole bunch of them done.
You realize that you're not a real knife maker until you've got an oven and where you can precisely dial it in, and you can hold that over Otisir's head. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Otisir, you're not a real knife maker till you can dial in your steel.
I think his steel's pretty dialed in.
Hey, take them where you can get them. There you go. There you go. Otisir, are you going to be beating your steel tomorrow?
No, I'll do that on Sunday. Tomorrow, tomorrow, first I'm sleeping late. I'm tired. I had a long week. I'm actually exhausted. Mm-hmm. But I'm going out with my wife. We're going somewhere. We're taking some pretty pictures of us for our 20th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right.
It was
Congrats.
actually on the 20th just now, a couple of days ago. But we're celebrating due to family traveling and stuff on March 9th. So we're going to have a big, not a big party, but, big enough for like 40, 50 people there.
Hey, go ahead and wear one of those toupees out for tomorrow's pictures so we can kind of see that when you do Hair Club for Men, we just kind of want to see what that'll look like.
It ain't happening, brother.
No?
No, I'm actually very proud of my beautiful shiny head.
You have a beautiful shiny head.
Right?
You do. And God created you wonderfully, and what he took away from you in follicles, he made up for in personality and skills.
But hey, let me tell you something. Of all the problems that befall a man after 40s, I would take hair loss all day, every day. If you know my
but
meaning.
you said you were using the Viagra instead of borax on your
yeah, but that is only for knife making.
Right, so it didn't work on the other issue you were having.
No, don't have those issues.
You just gave up? You just gave up.
No,
and then you're in denial.
It don't run in the family,
Hey,
my dad, he died at around
I think you had like 67 brothers and sisters.
Yeah. He died on his late 80s, and let me tell you, man, up until his old age, he was still working. So, he runs in the family. I mean,
Excellent. I think Viagra's silly. I do.
Hey, Bunch of old men who don't even know what to do with it anymore.
Yeah.
So
I'm not making fun of you, Josh. You know, to each his own, but I think it's silly. So, Josh, what are you doing this? What are you doing this weekend? I see your wife's posting. She's collecting more seeds or something out there. That woman is a seed machine.
I need to show y'all a picture of her seed collection. It is insane.
I saw the carrot tomato picture she drew.
Yeah, quite the artiste. And
yes,
yeah. So we're starting seeds here this week and next week, and then we're a little late on that, but we've been quite busy. So hopefully here in the next week or two we'll have some tomatoes and peppers and all that good stuff going. And then
you start them in a greenhouse
tomorrow,
or just covered raised beds, or how do you do it?
We do it straight in the ground, and
okay.
we start them. We've got a rack set up in the basement with a bunch of grow lights and all that good stuff. Gotcha. So we start them there, and then we
basement with grow lights. Yeah, tomatoes. Yeah, okay, yeah, you keep talking.
Right.
Yeah, those funny tomatoes. Huh?
Yeah, no wonder he was putting out those black tomatoes last year. We know why they're turning black. You know, the same thing happens. The same thing happens when you make moonshine in the forest. You look for the trees that are turning black. But go right ahead.
Yep. And I'll show you a picture of last year. We had like a couple thousand plant starts, and we had big plans last year, and that happened right before she fell and hurt herself.
Knee, yeah. And then you had a lot of plans to sell, didn't you?
Yeah, we sold a bunch, which was good. But we still had probably like 200 or 300 left over that just didn't go anywhere. But then so we're gonna get going on this year's stuff, and then next or the rest of tonight I'm gonna be finishing up the sheet that I've been working on. And
unfortunately your image is a little pixelated, so we can't see it that well, so send us a picture in our chat group later.
But then I get to start on. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say,
I interrupted you.
Then tomorrow I'm going to be starting on, continuing a sword build that I started a while back. That's the next one that needs to get done. So that'll be cool. It's a Bronze Age sword, but made out of steel. So it'll be kind of neat, a little different, and try to get that done.
Leaf shape?
No, not on this one. This one, it's a leaf blade shape. So it's actually got it. Like if you were to cut a cross section through the center of the blade, it's actually kind of like sharpened oval.
Yeah, like the profile sword of Perseus.
Yeah, very similar to that.
Dang, Odysseus.
I like swords and stuff, you know.
Yeah, but listen at you. You're all like, phew, you're smart.
You know.
You are.
Have you ever thought about making a goblin cleaver like the one on the Hobbit?
That would be cool. I haven't done any fantasy ones yet, and it's one of those things that, like, if I got the order for it, I'd have a lot of fun with it. But I want to, with my whole plan for this year, where I'm wrapping up. These are the last of my little like commissions that I have. I'm wrapping those up, and then the rest of the year is going to be spent like growing my skills and trying to do different things that I've been not able to do because I've had commissions.
Right.
So playing with swords and folders and all of that good stuff is all kind of like stuff I'm looking forward to playing with.
Excellent. You know, it's funny you say that because I said I was going to quit taking orders, and I did it. Somebody called me this week and they said, I would like, and I said, I don't take orders anymore. I just make things, but let me put you on the list. And if you like what I'm making, and I said, what kind of knife do you kind of like? And they told me, I said, well, I may have something that's kind of my style. So if I do it, I'll put you on the list. And if you grab it, it's yours. It felt so good. It did.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
Hey, you gotta be free to move and do whatever you like. I mean, if somebody likes it, they're gonna, I like it, and they're gonna take it from you, But
and they take it for what it is, not for what you're trying to live up to their vision. It is. Don, what are you doing?
Oh man, just Well, I got my roof taken care of, so now
Yes, sir.
I'm
That's
gonna
good.
go back to make some. I started, I think a while back, I started using a product called Rich Light.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Rich Light.
And I started on one. In fact, I sent a picture earlier in the chat.
Right.
It's got this maple color. If you haven't ever used any of it, I'd definitely get a couple pieces of it. They got different colors, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a chunk. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, and it does not give you can't buff it out. It won't buff out to a really high shine. I haven't done that yet, but I can get a good nice matte finish with it.
Yeah.
But if you do use it, make sure it's paper micarta. It's similar to paper micarta, I would say that. But if you're going to grind it, you better have sharp belts and slow your speed down because it will burn quick.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
That's why I don't use my card anymore. G10 all the way.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Josh, so what I'm wanting you to make me is my little Bigfoot in the Trees logo. If you can make that in about a 1/2 inch wide, we'll see if you can do it. If you can't, that's okay. But I wanted something kind of smaller to smash into some of my leather sheaths. And I will pay you for your time, good sir, to make me a... How long would all those last?
Yeah.
How many impressions? I mean, a long time or... In wet leather?
As long as you're not
mostly?
like using if you're not using a hammer to do it, and you're just like pressing
just
it in,
like an arbor press,
should last
yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, it should last pretty good. I'll be curious too because I haven't tried that yet. And the other thing too is you can get pretty detailed with it, but you don't want to go too small.
No,
I found out.
So what I'll do, I'll send it to you, and you can give me a price on it, and then we can go from there because I don't want you to, spend your time on my dime for something like that. Otis, sir, you look like you were about to spout something.
I need a logo.
A logo? Can I help you? Can I help
I
you with
was
that?
talking to Don the other day. He said, "Well, maybe something that reminds you of Brazil or something." And I don't want none of that. And then he said, "Why don't a jaguar paw, right?" So maybe I'm just
that'd be a good one.
Bald Man Knives is already taken, so
yeah. So I need a logo. I mean, I have my signature in there. It's not something that I want to use in every knife. It's just, I need a logo.
Hey, for all the help that you've given me here recently, and not that it's this for that. I mean, I'd have done it anyway. Let me put my thoughts to paper and send you some things and see if I can come up with something you like, and we can refine it to the point that you say, hey, this defines me.
Sounds good.
If you like that, we'll start off with something that looks like a little red chili pepper and just go from there. But it'll be turned the other way. It'll be turned the other way.
The other way, yeah. The upside down.
It's okay.
You did say you were going to get me for trademark infringement or whatever. So we'll turn it left instead of right. So we'll be good.
Turn backwards and upside down.
That's right. Go. That's right. Hey, and guys,
or maybe two
maybe
chili peppers.
Two. Hey, there you go. Yeah.
Coming up, opposite way like this, huh?
There you go. Guys, with all that being said, it is that time where we say, tired boss, we all need to go to bed.
Yep.
Tired of driving down the road.
Yep.
Got to get off this information superhighway and get this one uploaded in the morning so the world can hear.
Yes, sir.
And with all that being said, this is where you guys say,
happy weekend.
Good night. See you next time.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
And I'm not...
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Brought to you by Porkhouse Studios. Oinky, oinky, oinky.
Oinky, oinky, oinky.
So you look upset. Here, I'll give you the lady. Here we go. You ready?
I'm just tired. Like I said, I had a long, stressful week, and I could barely finish this knife. It kind of looks easy, but it's not. And had a lot of things going on at the same time.
Well, hey, we support you in all you do.
Go downstairs, grab me another bite before I jump in bed and had some beautiful nightmares.
The last thing that I have to say then, guys, don't forget to go to housemade.us and see what Mr. Housewort has to offer. Go get some of them 2x72 grinders. He's also got the Apollo Forge. So whether you're looking for a 2x72 Revolution or an Apollo Forge, you can't go wrong with Housemade Industrial at housemade.us. Hey, questions, comments, product reviews, show and guest ideas, subscribe and email us at thenivestemplars@yahoo.com or DM us on Facebook at the Knives Templars Group. Join the Knives Templars Group, and you can visit us at thenivestemplars.com to stay up to date. We are available on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube Music, because Google Podcast is going away in June. They're still there, though. Anchor, Amazon, and CastBox. Again, you can find our Knives Templars podcast on Facebook and email us at knivestemplars.com. And with all that being said, I have one last thing myself to say. Not you guys. It's this.
Brought to you by Porkhouse Productions. Oinky, oinky, oinky.